Hey, are you ready to see Usher take the stand in the trial against Diddy? Word on the street is he was subpoenaed to tell the truth about what went down at Diddy's flavor camp. It's about to get real.
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
The hushed courtroom could have been any wood-paneled chamber until a decade-old voicemail cut through the air like a ghost refusing to stay silent. Kim Porter's soft yet urgent voice filled the speakers, naming names, hinting at favors owed, and, according to stunned reporters, describing something she saw at Diddy's infamous flavor camp involving a teenage Usher. Phones buzzed, pens froze, and even the judge leaned forward. Outside, Twitter roared, "Kim just testified from beyond the grave!" Prosecutors waited all week to drop the clip. On May 16th, 2025, they finally pressed play, letting jurors hear Porter laying out a timeline of secret recordings she'd stashed in case everything goes left. Defense lawyers pounced. Inadmissible, but the jury had already heard her say the words, "Usher, Puff, that tape will outlive me." Reporters later wrote that some jurors avoided eye contact with Combs the rest of the afternoon. The contents are sealed from public release, yet sources whisper that Porter describes walking in on Diddy and a young artist in Uptown Records' control room, then saving the security cam file to an external drive. Whether that artist is Usher is still redacted, but courtroom gasps suggest the implication landed. Friends say Kim never traveled without at least one hard drive. Long before cloud backups were trendy, she labeled disks Insurance A, Insurance B, and Code Red. After her sudden 2018 pneumonia-listed passing, relatives discovered a ransacked study, locked drawers jimmied open, one laptop gone, jewelry untouched. LAPD called it a burglary. Conspiracy hawks called it a cleanup op. Last September, an online Kim Porter memoir surfaced. Diddy's attorneys blasted it as fake and shameless, and the family threatened legal action. Still, the manuscript echoed rumors Kim shared with friends, suggesting she feared retaliation if her footage ever leaked. Back in 1993, Usher moved in, parties swirl, and the 13-year-old later admits he saw things I can't even write yet. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, still marvels on podcasts. "We fought over Frosted Flakes at 4 a.m. No kid should be up that late with grown millionaires." Over the years, Usher has mastered the polite sidestep when interviewers pry. Yet clips betray him. Eyes darting when Diddy reminisces about waking up together, or jokes about Usher eating cereal in his kitchen. The discomfort feeds an internet cottage industry of exposés and, now, a prosecution narrative. Usher also said in an interview that he will never allow his kids to join the Puffy flavor camp.
Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
what
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Blog headlines screamed that Usher had been subpoenaed, but the official witness list filed Monday doesn't include him or Justin Bieber. Even so, federal prosecutors can still compel testimony if Kim's recording directly references him. 2 months ago, Medium insiders claimed Usher's camp was already prepping. If called, he faces a brutal calculus: confirm Kim's account and risk reliving teenage trauma, or appear evasive and invite deeper scrutiny, especially about past lawsuits alleging he exposed partners to STDs. The defense might weaponize those civil cases to muddy his credibility. Kim's voice isn't alone. The day before her tape played, jurors heard Cassie Ventura's own 2013 audio. She threatens a man who claimed to possess a freak-off video. Her trembling scream, "I'll end you if you leak it," interrupted by sobs, underlined how power and fear dance in Combs's orbit. Minutes later, Dawn Richard, once part of Danity Kane, described watching Combs punch Ventura over scrambled eggs, then drag her upstairs by the hair. Jurors scribbled notes. One reportedly shook her head in disbelief. Together, Cassie and Dawn sketch a pattern that makes Kim's allegations feel less like gossip and more like connective tissue. So, why would someone risk a daylight burglary for a single MacBook? Start with the timeline. November 2018. Kim was found unresponsive at home. Autopsy cites double pneumonia. April 2019. Masked intruders slip past security cameras, ignore cash and jewels, depart with her laptop. September 2024. Al B. Sure, Kim's ex and father of her eldest, posts cryptic messages pleading with the FBI to investigate her death, calling leaked memoir pages fictitious. Now, May 2025. The government somehow obtains a pristine copy of a recording once presumed lost. Prosecutors won't reveal their source, but insiders hint Kim mailed duplicates to at least 2 confidants in 2017. If that's true, the burglars may have stolen only one of several keys. Combs's legal team reacted with a media blitz, leaking excerpts that paint Porter as jealous, Cassie as vindictive, and Usher as confused. Tabloids obligingly splash headlines like, "Kim Porter loved Diddy to the end, so why wiretap him?" But behind the scenes, sponsors eye exit clauses. A fragrance partnership quietly pauses ads featuring Usher's Super Bowl halftime teaser. Vegas residency board members schedule emergency meetings. No casino wants fresh testimony about teenage exploits blaring on CNN while tourists check in. So, what happens next? Legal analysts say the judge will soon rule on whether the jury can hear the full Porter archive, a decision that could shift the trial's center of gravity. If the voice note stays in, expect the prosecution to argue a pipeline of coercion, stretching from Uptown Records to Cassie's 2010s despair. If it's struck, they'll lean harder on living witnesses and digital forensics from Combs's seized hard drives. Either way, Porter's message already pierced public perception. A mother of 4 speaking posthumously about a man many once idolized. For Usher, the crossroads loom. Clarify, deny, or watch silence be interpreted as complicity. So, here we are. Kim Porter breaking her own silence years after burial. Cassie and Dawn filling in the blanks, and a rumored laptop still roaming the shadows. If tomorrow's proceedings reveal the complete tape, whose empire crumbles first? Diddy's multimedia kingdom or Usher's carefully polished legacy? Drop your theories below. Smash that subscribe button for every twist the mainstream networks skip. And remember, in this trial, the dead are talking and the living can't outrun their echoes. Stay tuned. Chapter 2 is loading.